Next section, looking quickly at a broad spectrum skeletal organization. Your skeleton itself basically divided into axial, means axis or center. So the axial skeleton consists of bony and cartilaginous parts that support the head, neck, trunk. So the axial skeleton only includes your skull, your cranium and face, hyoid bone, which supports your tongue. Most classroom skeletons do not have this bone on it. Your vertebral or vertebral column, and then your thoracic cage. I do want to point out terminology. When I was in college, I remember, having professors at the same time. Vertebral column, vertebral column. There is more than one correct way to pronounce a lot of these words. So when you take this class in college, if you take anatomy in college, I typically call it vertebral column. Your next instructor might call it vertebral column. Pretty sure you guys should be smart enough to figure out that it is the same thing. It can be pronounced either way. So this axis, center, main center part of your skeleton. Appendicular deals with appendages, or things that come off of the axial skeleton. So they're going to be your upper and lower limbs, your arms and legs, and the bones that anchor them. So there's a diagram coming up that shows this much better. It's going to include your pectoral girdle, which is your clavicle, your collarbone, and your scapula, which is your shoulder blade. Your upper limbs, your arms, pelvic girdle, your hips are not part of your axial skeleton. They are a point of attachment. And then your lower limbs will be all of the bones in your leg. So this is a very good picture because it color codes it for you. Axial skeleton is this orange part. Head, vertebral column, basically your tailbone, your rib cage. That is pretty much it. Everything that attaches, so here is my pectoral girdle, my shoulder blade, and my clavicle. All those are there for is to hook my arms to my axial skeleton. So this is part of appendicular. Your hips and legs attach to the axial skeleton. So your hip and legs are appendages that will attach to it. Also, every bone on this diagram you are responsible for knowing, and then some. So hyoid bone, it sits under your tongue, and like I said, it's not attached very well, so you're not going to see it on a lot of skeletons. Your skull is divided into the cranium, and then the front part, your face, is considered a separate part of it. Clavicle is your collarbone. Scapula is your shoulder blade. Humerus is the upper part of your arm. And then you have the radius and the ulna. Very important, thumb side radius. Radius rotates, that's on your thumb side. Ulna, pinky side. So here, if I look at a diagram, here's my thumb, radius attaches to my thumb. Here's my pinky, ulna attaches to my pinky. Hip bone, we'll actually break that into smaller parts later. Carpals are the small, short bones that make up your wrist. And then metacarpals are the long parts in your hand. So when you look at your hand, the wrist bones are small, and then you actually have long bones that radiate through your palm. So those long bones that that make up your hand are your metacarpals, and then your fingers themselves are phalanges. Going down, femur, largest bone in your body. That's your big femur, thigh bone. Patella is your kneecap. Tibia is the shin. You can basically feel that one usually on your legs. And then fibula is the smaller one beside it. Tibia, shorter name, bigger bone. Fibula is the smaller bone. Tarsals are your short ankle bones. Metatarsals are the long bones of your feet, and then phalanges are your toes. What did I skip? Vertebral column is all your vertebrae, and we'll break that into sections. And then sacrum or sacrum is basically the back part, kind of the back part of your vertebrae. And then coccyx is the little bitty tailbone. So it's a very small piece at the bottom. Definitely need to know all of those bones. And here's just a table that shows numbers. Total bones in your body, 206. And if I look at kind of how those are broken down, your face has 14 bones. We will talk about all of them. I won't mandate that you label every single one of them. Here, if I just look at my hands, there's 10 metacarpal bones, so you can see there. And that's where I'll stop.